So moving forward, discussion only, directive motion regarding police protection, trustee Belcher.
Okay, so we're going to start off with what you just said about me being on your block for malicious intent. Never was it malicious. So please do not say that. My intent is directed to this that we are putting on the board right now of your 24-hour police protection that you had on your block for weeks on several occasions. That's taxpayers' money. So the directive says, we, the Board of Trustees for the Village of Dolton, hereby direct the mayor to pay all costs related to the mayor receiving 24-hour security protection by the Village Police Department. Said services will not be expensed by the Village of Dolton unless there's a state of emergency verified by the police chief and the Village of Dolton Police Department. On this day, September 27th, which will go into October 4th meeting, the Board of Trustees and Village of Dolton so move and vote upon the above mentioned directive. The reason for the directive, Mayor, is that we already have a lack of police, and you having 2 officers on your block and then someone following you around all day long is really wasting the resources of the village. So for malicious intent, never. It's for the residents to know where our money is being spent. So please don't ever say anything that's not of truth. Once again, this directive is the fact that, and we all understand you are female. I understand that you have a child. I'm not saying that you don't deserve to be protected. I'm saying that 24-hour protection at the cost of the village is astronomical. There has been conversation to find out if there was imminent threat to you or immediate threat to you, to even find out if this is going to be of a time frame. But we can't pay for your 24-hour protection for the next 4 years. And I'll even reference Trustee Steve saying with your self-inflicted comments that's causing a lot of this. So this is the directive that we are requesting, and we want legal counsel to acknowledge it also. But the simple fact is that if you continue with this 24-hour protection, at some point it needs to be at the cost of you and not the Village of Dolton.
Any more comments as it relates to this?
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Go ahead, Trustee Norwood.
I'm agreeing to this, and it's mainly because of the recent spike of violence that we've had over the last few weeks. I think that we are right now, we need the police is on the streets as much as possible for the sake of the residents and for the sake of everyone. So I'm in agreement. Thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else? Okay. So I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to give the floor to the chief. It's sad to see other women go after another woman who's a single mom and not want her to protect her family or her daughter. This is where I say again, you guys must learn your duties once and for all. I govern and you all legislate. That's the difference. I'm hoping that you guys basically learned something from the IML so that you can now start to legislate. Trustees do not, and I repeat, you do not have the authority to direct the mayor at all, period. This is something you should have learned downtown at the IML over the weekend. As for the police, they are given assignments and they are performing the duties that's within their assignment. The streets are covered, and to key on some things you're saying as relates to 2 police officers that's untrue and my home untrue statement. I do have a detail that is so true. Something that was given and came with the title when I got in office. Any of you that know me know that when I first got in office, and I told this to basically majority and all other trustees, that I did not want a detail in the beginning because I didn't need it. I thought the people needed the police more than I, until we had issues. When I was threatened, I got it. Now, as a woman, Trustee Belcher, it's a shame that you would say that out your mouth, that I don't need protection. I know that Riley, the ex-mayor, had Pete Zenos for his detail and didn't do anything. So now that I need the protection, it's a shame that my board will fix their mouths to say, Mayor, we're not going to protect you. I asked every woman on this body, including the guys, to switch it. If it was your wife, your daughter, your loved one, what would you want for them? That's why I stand with it. Chief Collins, can you please let them know what is going on?
Okay. May I be recognized before we hear from Chief Collins?
Okay, one second, trustee. Let him have the floor, then you can go right after him. Thank you. Go ahead, Chief.
The one thing that I want to make known is whether people believe that there are actual threats. Yes, there are actual threats. And threats don't necessarily have to be made public. But the one thing that I can say is the fact that this particular mayor has received threats, and that has been verified. The one thing that exacerbates this is that a protest occurred on her block at her home, which by state statute is illegal. However, the fact that this particular location was made completely public, now people don't really have to research where she lives. Now it's just been made public. And there have been multiple incidents of people showing up on the block for a variety of reasons that we have had to challenge. There are not 2 police officers on the block. There is 1 police officer on the block that has had to challenge people. They're on the block for whatever particular reasons. And there's one officer that is with the mayor's detail. Yes, she's a single mother, single female. She's a mayor, and mayors receive threats. The prior mayor received threats also that have been verified too. So it's not something that's particularly unique to this particular mayor. When I was chief under Riley Rogers, he received threats also that we were directed to investigate. The same conditions are here also. And this would be the case of any a village official that received threats, that you have some kind of issues or problems at your home, you would expect to see the police. Same thing here. That is exactly the same thing here. So as a police department, yes, we wear multiple hats. Yes, we're on the streets. We cover the streets. We assign people the details. Those are the things that we have been doing. And those are the things that we have been doing in the past. And it's not uncommon for the police to be doing those items.
Mm-hmm. All right, trustees.
Thank you. Can I ask, since you asked him to speak, can I ask him a question?
1 second. Let me give the floor to Trustee Steves, then it can come to you. Go ahead, Trustee Steves. We can.
I want to make it clear, I realized that we had a situation at the village hall one time that we're dealing with a woman mayor, and right, so things need to be a little different. I don't think none of us want to take that away from the security away from the mayor. I know I don't. But I do want to, what's the plan? We don't have to talk about this publicly because I know we're stretched thin with police officers. What's the plan moving forward? Do we plan to say, okay, let's do this 12 hours here, 20 hours off? What is the plan moving forward? Is this going to be 24-hour security and continuously? Something that we can talk about offline is that what's the plan moving forward? I think that's for me. I want a plan moving forward that because it is a lot of money being spent. And I understand that she definitely needs security. The mayor needs security. So I think we just got to come up with a plan to make it make sense for everybody. I think that's possible.
Okay, so Trustee Steves, I think that's something that you guys could have had off record and not broadcast this here, because we wouldn't dare put the plan up here for people to know how we're moving and what we're doing. So I think y'all shouldn't even put it on the agenda to discuss what's going on, but now it's out. And now I'm pretty sure more stuff will happen.
I'm saying, but may I be recognized?
Yep, go ahead, Trustee.
Again, like you're saying, I don't think, there's a lot of things that we could question about each other. You know what I mean? We put it on the agenda and we're talking about it. We're discussing it. So let's move forward. But like I said, even when you said we meet, when me and you met, we agreed to disagree. And the things I disagree with you, I'm telling you in private, I'm telling you in public. I don't change nothing in my words. I don't mix my words. I don't back talk. double talk. I don't talk with a forked tongue to things I disagree with you. I disagree with you in private, and I disagree with you in public. So we have to respect each other moving forward. If we do not respect each other, we'll never get a chance to work together. Never. And you as the leader, you can't keep telling us, y'all as trustees need to do this. Y'all need to learn. That is not the right tone to talk to grown adults that way. It's just not. I can speak for myself. It does not go well with me to hear my mayor talking about, y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that. It's just not the right way to do it, sister. Please.
Okay. You finished, trustee? Okay, go ahead, trustee Belcher.
Okay, and this is for Chief Collins, since you included him in this. Chief, prior to it being one police officer on her block right now, currently, were there not more than one police officer that was on the block previously? Previously,
early on, when we were having the bulk of the protests and the demonstrations, yes, we did have an officer at both ends of the block.
Okay, and then can you tell me roughly about how much does it cost the village to have people on overtime, and how many police officers are supposed to be staffed throughout the village on a shift?
I could give you the information about the staffing of the police officers, but can we hold that as a part of public safety? Do we really want
okay, but this is discussion.
Trustee, let me finish answering your question. The thing I want to say is that there are certain things that you do want. You don't want the public to know exactly how many police officers you have on the street and where they are at all times. Then you can plan a crime spree. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but those are some of the things that we still need to keep close and discuss privately. But the one thing that, yes, early on, there were 2 police officers on the block, and not all the officers were on overtime. When we have an extra police officer that's on a shift, they get an assignment and they go on the detail. Not the entire detail is not overtime. So I can't give you an accurate answer right now, but if you guys go through the financials, you can see how much overtime we have incurred.
Oh, thank you. So yes, I would not want you to tell me, tell anybody how the whereabouts of the police officers. I'm just stating that I know normally via a contract, which can be for you by anybody, there should be a certain amount of number of police on and outside. Also, via the minimum staffing, via financing, and the information that has provided to us that we get on a weekly basis, it was broken down to roughly $1,000 a day was being spent. And no, it did not have to be overtime, but one of those police officers that were assigned was one less person that was on the street protecting us. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else?
Mayor.
Go ahead, trustee Holmes.
The trustee can go ahead. Go ahead, trustee.
My concern is and as Trustee Steve stated, it's not a matter of not having the protection, and not for me, it's not a matter of not having the protection. But I do think, well, one, I was notified by a resident. So a resident asked me, or came to one of our meetings and asked about the detail on how much it was costing us. And that's when it was brought to my attention that, I needed to ask. That's one thing. And then 2, I know that we'll speak about it off the record, but I think that that is something that we all should discuss. I mean, my concern is how long? Is this a matter of months? Is it a matter of years? I mean, because at the same time, this is an expense for the village, for the taxpayers, and we do need to have a plan in regards to how much money can be allotted to this, or how much are we going to spend in regards to this. So I know that you stated, Chief Collins, that you will get that information to us. It's something that we don't want to speak about online at the moment, but as a trustee, those are my questions for you at a later time in regards to this matter. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, for the record, not only just the mayor, but all trustees. Your life and your family life is more important to me and more important to you. And if it takes for...
I asked everyone on this board, switch it. Whoever, if it was your wife, the video, can y'all mute it? Your daughter, your love. What would you want from her? That's why I stand. Who video is that? Okay, go ahead, Trustee Holmes.
Okay, what I was stating that, every elected official and, all of the trustees here, with family, your life is important. Your family life is important. And then the residents' life is important that are on your block. With the crime sphere that has been going in the suburbs and out the suburbs, with people possibly want to discharge a weapon, possibly hit your relatives, possibly hit your neighbor, I agree that, to some extent that all of us must be secure. If something, threat happens to one of the trustees here, I'm going to be the first one there to offer my service and assistance, to sit out there, to monitor their home, to monitor them, go here and there. Doesn't make a difference who it is. We have to protect our fellow trustees, and we have to protect the mayor if the threats come. I understand you all looking at the financial part of it, which is good, but discuss that with the chief, one-on-one. But your life, and I'm saying this for all 5 of my co-trustees and also the mayor, your life is more important to protect, because people out here don't have it all. And your residents on your block must be protected too, if and indeed you get a threat or a death threat, because we have to protect you. I can say I love y'all, but still, we have to protect you. But as far as the finance, sit with the chief, go over the finance, get, cross T's, dot the I's, and find out where some money is being spent. But, Trustee Steve, House, Belcher, Tammy Brown, my other little trustees, and also the clerk. Elected officials, you're human. Your life must be protected at all times from any and everybody, whether they're inside or outside. You're the most important people here. So we have to look at security, and we can't have a security breach. So that's all I have to say. Love y'all.
Okay. Ontario, can you mute your mic?
Muted.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Just one comment. Can I be recognized? And it's going to be very brief.
Sure, go ahead.
I think that even when Trustee Holmes just made a statement, this directive is not to say don't protect you, is how long this is supposed to continue to go on. And even if it's a conversation that we have outside of here or, within the meeting or whatever, it's still going to be a financial burden. Yes, we're not putting a price tag on anybody's life. So I don't want nobody to go around start saying I'm all about, making sure, but it has to be at some point when we're looking at the numbers and seeing how much it's costing us. And at the same time, that one body that's sitting over there at someone's house, not even talking about your protection, could be out securing the streets, as Trustee Holmes just said. It's shootings going on, police are getting killed. That's absolutely correct. So we still have to protect the village also. So no one never said don't give her the protection, but how long does it supposed to continue to go on?
Okay,
Thank you.
With that being said, Trustee, I was saying that in the past, the mayor had security for 4 years. 4 years. So now that I'm actually threatened, no one wants to give me the same due process that the previous administration had. It was all in the budget. Nothing changed. So all I'm saying to you is now it's different. So now it's a different crowd, different situation. People showing up in people's houses. Like, come on, it's different. And you guys telling me y'all don't want to protect that? I wouldn't do y'all like that. And that's what I'm trying to make you understand. I want you to understand that you got kids, just like I got a daughter. I go in and out the house every day. People know that. Everybody know I stay now. And for you guys to sit here, put that on here, put it up for discussion, like safety ain't key for me, come on. I couldn't, if I didn't even like certain people, I would still give you security protection. Because at the end of the day, we humans before anything. I'm a human being before anything. These are titles. These are borrowed seats. It comes and goes. So for you guys not to take that into consideration, that's bothersome.
Okay. May I be recognized?
Yeah, I will. 1 second. And what I'm even bothered about, you could keep saying you didn't have malicious intent. The reason why I say that, because you did. You went on up to my house, to my property, on my land, and my residents had to check you. My residents. because you was being malicious.
I never went to your house, so that's a lie. Here you go lying again.
They got it on tape.
I went to your name. Me, what was I
making
doing?
videos?
So go lying again.
Malicious
Once
intent.
again,
So
that wasn't malicious intent. Those are my.
Go ahead. Let me let you get it out.
Yes, those are my tax dollars. It's not malicious intent for me to go anywhere and take a picture and talk to whoever I want to. I'm an elected official just like you are. So if I see two people, two police officers, two patrolmen with barricades on a block, I got the right to go any place I want to go. So it's not malicious intent. I had the right to go there. I didn't come to your house. I didn't knock on your door. I didn't take no picture of your house. I talked to your neighbor. So if you want to start telling these things, make sure you tell the absolute truth. If it wasn't for privacy, I would state what her name is. So make sure when you start telling this stuff, tell it absolutely the way it happened. So when you go look at your Ring doorbell or anything else, I was never on your property. I was at the corner of the block where the barricades were and where the officers were. And I can tell you which each officer was. So please stop telling untruthful things to make it sound like you got all this stuff going on when you're in the wrong sometimes.
1 second, let me respond to Trustee Belcher. So for the record, you was over there on BS. You was over there doing malicious intent. I was at an event giving out book bags and uniforms, and you took it upon yourself to go on my block to do what you thought you was going to do. The residents stopped you and confronted you. This is what I'm saying. The board don't know. They don't know everything.
Here you go lying again because ain't nobody stopped me. Here you go lying again.
I ain't gotta lie. I ain't gotta lie.
You are a liar. So why you talking about somebody on BS? You a liar.
Point of order. Thank you.
Ain't no order. You don't have no order. Stop lying so much. You a liar.
Trustee, you finished? Then I cried and I let you talk.
Doorbell. If you said I went to your house, pull your Ring doorbell.
Okay, you finished.
Because you a liar. Stop lying.
Basically, I'm putting it out there. So you was doing.
If you gonna put it out there, put the truth out there.
I am putting the truth out there. If you
no, you're not.
I am because people don't know this.
You're a liar. You're a habitual liar.
Trustee, people don't know this. They think that you do this.
I don't care what they know. I went over there. I never said I didn't go.
All right, we moving on. I think people got the point and the gist of it. So everybody knows that. The police department knows it as well when it did happen. So I just want it to be on record, Clerk Key, what Trustee Belcher was alluding to or what she was trying to attempt to do.
And make it on record that she's a liar too. Put that on record too, that she's a liar.
Moving on, go ahead, Trustee House, you have the floor.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I think obviously safety is paramount. It's a financial reality too. So I would really encourage, I think the conversation and maybe the conversation probably definitely should be had in terms of the time, but definitely do not want anything to happen to you, Mayor. At the same time, we have to look at the reality. So I would just ask that maybe we move this into, if we need to, next meeting executive session, if we don't have the opportunity to discuss it prior to that.
All right. Okay, moving on. Next is discussion only, censure of the mayor. Trustee Brown, you have the floor.
Okay, I put this on the agenda because the mayor's not following the ordinances that the Board of Trustees have put into place. And I'm going to read. It says, an ordinance censuring Mayor Henyard. Whereas the village of Dolton, Cook County, Illinois, is a home rule municipality pursuant to Section 6, Article 7 of the 1970 Constitution of the State of Illinois, and as such may exercise any power and perform any function pertaining to its government and affairs. Whereas the village of Dolton is committed to an effective operation of the village in order to provide effective governance and leadership for the village. Whereas the village of Dolton needs all 5 members to contribute to the positive working and social environment for colleagues on the board. Whereas the village is committed to upholding policies of both the state and the village, providing for respectful communications and policy, governing the mayor's actions and behaviors, would set an example of positive leadership in the village. Whereas the state and the village of Dolton has a code of conduct that every representative is required to adhere to. Whereas no request for proposals for bidding, many contracts can be handpicked by the mayor without being bid on. Whereas no checks should be sent manually that the Board of Trustees do not approve. Whereas no comp time shall be used to work the mayor's personal events. And whereas no village property, including but not limited to sidewalks, shall be painted without board approval. Whereas the budget shall be adhered to unless otherwise approved and voted on by the Board of Trustees. Whereas the Village Hall of the Village of Dolton shall remain open to employees and all elected officials, and no lock shall be placed on the doors to prohibit access. And whereas the Open Meetings Act shall not be violated by canceling meetings, removing agendas once they have been posted. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Village of Dolton Board of Trustees does hereby censure Mayor Henyard for her actions, which has a negative impact on the village. Hold on. Be it further resolved, the Board of Trustees do hereby demand Mayor Henyard engage in appropriate, non-discriminatory conduct and work to further positive and inclusive relationship in the village among the trustees.
All right. Any discussion?
So I just have my camera off so I can read.
Any discussion from the Board of Trustees? Okay.
Mayor.
Next.
Okay, one more thing, I'm sorry. So the Board of Trustees are asking for consent to move this to the October 4th board meeting for votes.
Okay, it will be on the agenda. Any comments?
Yeah. Mayor, I have a comment.
Sure, go ahead.
Just overall, I'm hoping that as a board, we do find a way to get on one accord, for the sake of everyone. I just think that in regards to this, I'm in agreement because I think the mayor, as I stated to you before, when I came on this, when I came from another ticket originally, but when I made it to this team, I came with an open heart and an open mind. And I told you, I said, hey, my goal is to move forward, to do whatever is needed to help the residents. And in regards to a team, I know that you say time and time again, Mayor, hey, I talked to you all and you all are in agreement at the moment, and then you all switch up. And as I explained to you before, Mayor, when we're having a conversation, I think that our biggest thing is when we're having a conversation, I think that you hear me, but you don't hear me. So it's like you ask me for my opinion and I tell you how I feel, but you still move forward with your own agenda, meaning you tell me that you value my opinion or you open to suggestions. But everything is always from the very beginning still goes according to the mayor's plan and the mayor's plan only. And I tried to reason with you before we got to this point with numerous things. I said, with the lack of communication between us and the department heads, I said, well, hey, Mayor, can we just see if there's a way that I can speak with them before the warrant list is out, just so that I'm able to make informed decisions on behalf of the residents. In regards to the spending, I said, well, hey, Mayor, anything that's over the $1,500 ordinance, how about you speak with the board? How about you just notify us? Everything is not about us controlling you. We want to allow you to have your position. But I think that you just don't want to include us. And I think that that's where all the back and forth comes from. We were threatened with arrest. Just recently, we had a board meeting last Monday and, things didn't go according to your plan or as you would like for them to have went. And then this weekend, we have a conference. We have an IML training conference where all the elected officials are set to be there so that they can learn, so that they can obtain resources for their community, so that they could, like you stated, learn our positions as trustee to make it better for us as a board and for the residents. But when, it's disheartening when I get to the hotel and here it is, our hotel stay for this conference, because of course it's a 3-day conference, is booked months prior in advance. Our stay is booked in March, April. And then we get there this weekend, like all the other elected officials. But unlike all the other elected officials, our rooms are the only ones that's canceled. So here we are, we have a leader that's saying, hey, let's work together as a board. Hey, I want to include you all. But then you do things such as that. You know, you cancel our rooms when everything was within the budget. So it's the leadership is where we are. You know, I just pray that, as I stated to you before, that you allow us to work with you, that you allow us to not only just hear us, but sometimes actually take our suggestions and see how we can compromise on things. Yeah, you are the mayor, but like you stated before, we're legislative. And our goal is to make informed decisions in regards to the ordinances for the residents. So I just feel like moving forward, Mayor, I'm just hoping that you allow us to compromise, you allow us to be transparent, and we work together as a team to make the best decisions for the residents. And as a trustee, I just want you to know that that's all I'm asking. I'm hoping that I'm included as trustee, as a member of the board. No, you're free to make a lot of decisions, and I told you before, if they're the great decisions, hey, I'm in agreement. But sometimes, as a board member, things aren't even notified to us. For instance, the police detail, we didn't even know, you know, a resident informed us. So again, I'm just hoping that moving forward, certain things you can inform us, include us, so that as a board, we can move forward and we don't have moments like this where we're in total disagreements, where we can find ways to respect each other and to make the best decisions on the behalf of the residents. So thank you, Mayor.
It'll be too much for me to go through everything you just said. So I'm gonna just hit on the one item that stood out the most, which was the hotels for the stay downtown. I sent the email out to everyone stating that I was not paying for hotels at the IML. And you guys got that before you even made it downtown. I think it was 2 days before. You was told to either bring a credit card, put on file to pay for your own room, or pay for it, I guess, when you got down there. I don't know what decisions any of you made as related to keeping the hotel there. I've been on the board for 8 years as a trustee. We never paid for IML stays because it was strictly right up the street for myself. I can speak for me as a trustee. The mayor always told us that it was within 15 minutes, which it was, and we can drive to and from. So each year I commuted to and from the IML. And if I want to pay for a hotel, we get an expense account. Our expense account, and I'll put that in the email as well, equal to about $5,000 that each trustee has received as of today in the expense account. And you guys should have been able to cover a $200 hotel room or whatever it costs, or whatever hotel you want to stay at. So that was the reason for that. The budget, as it relates to training, was only $10,000. I know that when we was doing the budget, I increased it to I think 30. I added $20,000 more to the budget because I know how expensive training can get, especially when you do add room and board. So if you guys go out of state or something like that, yes, your hotel is paid for. But when it's in-house, such as up the street, I feel you guys can either pay for it yourself or commute back and forth. So that was the reasons for that. Well, nobody doing anything to say why you couldn't have it. And I sent the email just to put it in writing of why I felt the reason that you guys should not pay for a hotel with taxpayer dollars. I felt you should use your own dollars because you get a salary, you get a stipend, and all that money entails to pay for a hotel. That was the reason for that.
Okay. Okay. You finished?
Anybody? Yeah, I want to give real quick.
Okay, real quick, Mayor. So just so I can respond, so you know, I just feel as a board member, it's malicious. It was a malicious act of yours. Anytime we speak to different elected officials that are also living in the Southland area, and they fully stated, hey, yeah, our mayor didn't have a problem. You know, yeah, of course, our village paid for it. And they stayed in the surrounding areas also. So I just want to say that I think that was malicious. It was in the budget. Our finance guy, Trustee House, actually informed you that it was in the budget. And he actually informed you that even with the room stays, we still have money in the budget for another training so that we can learn more information and we wouldn't exceed the budget. But Mayor, again, just so you know, I just think that as a board member, as a leader, I think that it was discouraging. It's discouraging when here we are trying to learn. We're trying to benefit the residents. This is not about us. And you made the decision, like you stated, well, I made the decision to remove the village card. But Mayor, we are already over $30,000 in special events budget that you host at your leisure all the time. And you never mention anything in regards to spending the taxpayers' money then. So I'm just stating, for the record, I think that it was malicious intent, and I just hope that you, moving forward, show better leadership. Thank you, Mayor.
So, for the record, as it relates to me being over budget of 30,000 in special events, that's not true. Jason House, I guess when y'all have y'all finance meeting, y'all can pull that up and see the exact amount that I spend, so everybody can stop saying the wrong number up here. That's number one. Number two, as it relates to the hotel and him stating that we had money in the budget for it. The budget was only $10,000. $10,000 of which training is for everyone in the village, not just the trustees. So $10,000 wasn't gonna cover you and anybody else that needed training, such as our staff, and you could pay for a hotel. That training cost us almost $5,000. That's half of the budget. We're only 3 months in. So if we're only 3 months in, and other conferences or things come up, how are we gonna pay for it? If you guys didn't want to add to the budget when I tried to do it to make sure we cover, and I'm all for education. That's why we paid for it. The education part of it was paid. So let's be clear of that. The only part that wasn't paid was the hotel. So it's crazy that everybody arguing over the hotel stay, but no one was tripping last week when it was time to approve alleys that everybody got mad, didn't want to approve because Ed didn't have his agenda item on the agenda. But what they had to do with the residents, it's like you guys use your personal reasons for not to approve something for them, and we didn't do it. So now here we are. So all I'm saying is it's give and take on both ends as it relates to getting things moved forward for the village of Dolton. So hopefully now moving forward, we all get on one accord. Everybody talk their stuff, throw their dirt. That's what they do up here, the grandstand, and then expect me to still be okay later on and make things right. And I'm fine with it because I'm gonna tell y'all about yourselves and tell y'all how I feel, like y'all tell me how y'all feel. But normally I don't do that here. I normally wait, meet with y'all, try to talk to y'all about how I feel and move forward. So that's where we are.
May I be recognized? That's what I want to say.
Please, go ahead.
I don't think the training, I understand the hotel rooms. I didn't, but this was booked in advance. It was booked months ago, and I'm okay because I wasn't gonna stay down anyway. But it happened. The cutoff of it happened 2 days before we got down there. So that's where I think Trustee Norwood is saying that it was booked. If that was the mindset, that should have never. The hotel room should have never been booked by the village administrator. It should have never been booked. It should have just been paid for the training. But the training plus the hotels were booked, and then after the last board meeting, 2 days before it, I'm taking a credit card in the name of budget. No, if it was concerned about the budget, the hotels should have never been booked. Second thing, you said that we tabled some alleys to get. Yeah, we did, but you realize we went through 2 meetings where you didn't put stuff on the agenda. You canceled the board meeting. We have to have some leverage. You canceled the board meeting before we got anything done. So we thought you were gonna cancel this board meeting, but we feel if we put the alleys on her, maybe she won't cancel because we didn't know what you were going to do moving forward. So I hope moving forward, you don't repeat the history of the past and canceling board meetings when you got stuff on there you don't agree with. But the way the village credit card was pulled off 2 days before it, if it was about the budget, it should have never been. The hotel room should have never been booked. Period. Because you're right, we live in Chicago. I don't need to say that hotel room downtown, but they were booked already. And after the last board meeting, when we get tabled some stuff, all of a sudden we get an email. Oh, now we're concerned about the budget. It's just not consistent, and that's actually petty. You know what I mean? And we got to stop being petty with each other. We got to stop. There's nobody trying to grandstand and stuff like that, but we're trying to say, look, sometimes people say maybe you got to shame a person and doing right. I don't know. Maybe, but we have to bring something to the public because when we get the rest of people like, oh, y'all working against the mayor, y'all working against, it's just not the truth. But this is just stuff that we're dealing with. So moving forward, training next year, don't book the hotels. Or if you're gonna book the hotels, leave it on there. Don't cut it 2 days before we get down there and then say, oh, it's about the budget. That's not about the budget. That's about being petty and being vindictive. And we got to stop that type of leadership.
Trustee House, this is your censure. You act like you don't have nothing to do with the position as it relates to the trustees and the position that they're taking. You play the middle. You want to talk, and I feel you wastes my time because we talk 3 hours, 2 hours here and there, but we get nowhere, like you just stated, as it relates to having a conclusion. And you don't pay for vendors after you approve them. That's not right. If people come here to the village of Dolton and do the work, they should get paid for the work that's done. You guys vote on contracts for people to start a job and then get paid through a hissy fit or whatever y'all want to call it. And then y'all say, we're not going to pay that vendor. That's not business-like. And I look at you from a different standard because you are the finance guy. You are the senior trustee. And you are the one that I feel the trustees listen to or get advice from. But yet you're leading them wrong by not making sure that we're doing the business at hand and putting politics to the side. Trustee Brown, quiet as a church mouse, talks to me, and she says she don't have any problems with anything on the agenda, and then comes out and blindsides me just to get a vote to go along with the team. Sits back for years and do nothing. Okay.
Anybody say that?
Next.
Nope, nobody.
Is there a reason why we didn't hear anything?
You went mute. You went mute, Mayor. If you want to start that over, you went mute.
Right. Can everybody hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is regarding the unlawful meeting. So I was making a statement as it related to this meeting here. So this meeting, like the previous call meetings by the trustee, was not properly called for, as the call for the special meeting was not signed as required by law. As such, the legitimacy of all actions taken tonight is in question and remains subject to legal challenge. That's for the record, Clerky. The next one on the censure. The proposed censure is improper and should be dropped immediately. It contains fraudulent and legal inaccuracies. This is clearly a political attack and retaliation for my attempts to responsibly govern the village in a matter that is in the best interest of the residents and not the business or social interests of individual trustees. I will not dignify this political grandstanding by the trustees. I will spend my time working in the best interest of the people of Dolton. That's for the censure, and then you got the unlawful. Now, as it relates to censures. So this is my censure to my board of trustees. And then we're going to retreat. So, number one, I just want to point out everyone's issues that they have that y'all never hear me speak on, talk about, say anything as relates to the board of trustees. Currently now is one-sided, and you guys are the only ones that get your information out. And I never say anything. So residents told me, Mayor, why don't you say anything? So I want to point out to Trustee Belcher, these are the issues that you have. This is your censure. You gave permission to a nonprofit to place a garden on a land that they did not own. You then gave permission to your boss, who you work for, who worked on a property and started doing work without pulling permits. I understand that you really want to be mayor because you ran for it before, but the residents said, no, no, no. The only way you became trustee is because you was on my ticket and ran for trustee. Trustee Steves, this is your censure. You always go along to get along. You've been using the village equipment for personal use, and you never gave it back. I wrote you a email, sent it to you, and you gave the equipment back to the village of Dolton after 4 months of having it. Also asked for administrative rights for our social media to give it to myself and our staff. And then you talked with me time after time, and then you come out and you do the opposite of what you and I discussed. You don't hold up to your word, but you worry about control, then unity. So all of a sudden, it's like everyone's against the mayor. Everyone has something to say about whatever y'all feel I don't do or do. Okay, can't leave you out. Clerk Key, send out the board package. This is your censure. Send out the board package at 1:46 p.m. today regarding the board meeting tonight at 6:30 p.m. I know that you guys always state that y'all want things in a timely manner, but yet you guys are doing the opposite. It's amazing how rules are for you guys, but when it's rules for me, let me reverse that. When the rules is for you, you guys don't follow it. But when the rules are for me, y'all want me to follow what y'all say. It goes both ways. You come to work a couple of hours, but yet you got a full-time assistant. So who's training who? So last but not least, did I miss somebody? Oh,
Who is my assistant?
Okay. Next we got Trustee Norwood. You guys never had a committee meeting and you just go along with the group, whether it's right or wrong, trustee. You voting down the alleys to get paved, and that was my issue as related to you as a trustee, and it was for personal use, and you knew that the Board of Trustees was wrong in doing that, but yet when the residents called all you out and said that y'all was wrong for not giving them what they needed, you guys then put it on this agenda for approval, which I'm happy that's getting approved, but yet we shouldn't play the games because we still have to take care of the business at hand. All the trustees do currently is shoot down anything that I'm trying to do progress with, all for personal agendas and personal attacks. That should be stopped and done here and now, and we should be able to move forward, like you guys said, and do an olive branch. I call myself doing that and compromising and giving an olive branch by saying, okay, you guys want a committee? Okay, here's your housing committee. Yes, I do and did want it to be on the committee of the whole, but yet you guys wanted it, so I bend a little. I've only been in office for 3 months. And I'm gonna say this and I'm done. I only been in office for 3 months. And now I'm on my 4th month. All I've asked of the trustees is to give me the chance and stop trying to tear me down or bring me down. What happened to women standing with and for other women as we campaigned on and as we said? When did we get to the point of such division where it couldn't be fixed or rectified? I've asked each trustee as I met with you, sat with you, emailed you, talked to you, spoke to you in passing. And I said, trustees, let's wave the white flag and do what we need to do as a group and as a unit and move as one. It's a shame that the Board of Trustees are so engulfed in destroying me that they don't even realize they're destroying the village with all their personal hidden agendas. The residents that sign up for this, shoot, I didn't sign up for this. So moving forward, I am definitely going to do the will of the people and be great, as I always am. Remember, the people elected me as mayor, and I need you guys to respect that. Now, I'm ready to do our retreat. Next on the agenda, public comment. Derek, public comment, go ahead. Next on the agenda is a special item from Special Board of Trustees meeting, September 27, 2021, a directive motion regarding police protection. So this was Trustee Belcher, so I guess the floor is yours.
Well, we discussed it at the special meeting, so it's a matter of voting on it or to make a decision if the board wanted to take it into executive session, but it's really a matter for voting right now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's up to you guys. You tell me what you would like to do. Is no ordinance or resolution on here, so I didn't understand what your directive was because y'all have nothing together as it relates to this item. So
the original one came with the meeting when we had the special meeting, Mayor. It was attached to it.
Yeah, it's no ordinance on it. Just something like someone wrote something. So I did confer with the attorney, and the attorney stated there is no directives. So was it an ordinance form, a resolution that has nothing at the top? Like how when we read all these items, it say ordinance number or resolution. Your item don't have that. It's just like someone wrote a paragraph making a statement. So
we can discuss it. I'm asking the board members if you want to discuss it in executive session or.
Yeah. Well, we already discussed it, so if it's
okay.
So if you guys' mind is made up, right? But hear me out. If you guys' mind is made up and you feel that this is something you want to do, let's move forward and keep it moving. I don't want to prolong the meeting any longer because we're at the end. So I still stand the same way I have before. I'm a single mom. You all know that, with a 2-year-old daughter. So for you all to even think or consider removing something like that from myself that's given to everyone in the nation as relates to when you're in politics, it comes with the title. It ain't nothing that I just made up and got. So you guys know about the threats, you know about everything, and y'all broadcast everything here to the public, the last board meeting, and what you think happened after that. So all I'm saying to you is that y'all should take that consideration. And for you to be a woman yourself, Trustee Belcher, it's a shame for you to even try to go this route. So I guess everybody mad. Hold on. I guess everybody upset because I didn't pay for you guys' hotel rooms. So I guess this is your way of trying to get back at me over police detail, which I feel is petty. I do feel that that's beneath you guys, and I'm not going to stoop to the level, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I need to do, because I'm going to protect myself and my daughter, which is my family, that you guys are putting at stake by putting on this clown show as it relates to my safety. I don't appreciate it. I said that before. I'm going to say it again. Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. So I just pray that nothing happens. I'm going to move this forward to Chief Collins real quick. He's going to make his statement. We'll make all our statements for the record. Then y'all can make y'all vote. Chief Collins, you have the floor.
The one thing that I will say is, as it pertains to the state statute and when it comes to threatening public officials, it does move it into a different level from misdemeanors into felonies. But the one thing I won't do is shift the police department into a political arena. If someone needs protection because of a threat, a real threat, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to protect whoever it is. And that would be pertaining to any other village official that came under those type of circumstances. The fact that it being the mayor, it just happens to be the mayor. Some things happened, some things were proven, and we have to act as a police department on the things that we must do. So that's where I'm going to leave it.
Thank you.
All right. And then next, I'm going to give Attorney Shantae Rames the floor. She has a legal opinion of this as well. Then you guys can vote.
So we were. Okay. So we were asked to review this also to see if there was any impropriety with respect to providing the protective service. And we're in agreement, obviously, with Chief Collins regarding the threat to public health and safety of an elected official. There will be nothing improper or illegal about it, particularly given the threats that have been made to the mayor in her official and personal capacity. And given that obviously she's a mother with a young child, we feel that there's nothing improper about what's being done. And it is something that, again, as Chief Collins indicated, this is something that is not new. It's ordinary and customary to provide protective services to officials when they're acting in their official capacity and where it's deemed appropriate by the law enforcement.
Thank you.
I just have one question that no one has yet answered. We asked how long. The last meeting, we were saying how long.
Okay, and I
Will this
stated,
continue?
sure, I answer, and I answered it then. I stated that in the previous past mayor, he had it for his term, so it would go with my term. It ain't nothing I made up. It's just something that came with my seat when I became mayor. So for you guys to want to take it away for whatever reason, I'm not understanding. They're not doing anything extra. It's the same thing as when a police officer go in to work for a detail, they basically give an assignment. The assignment is to protect the mayor. So that's where we are with it.
You saying Riley had protection?
He did. He had Pete Zeno's. Trustee Belcher knows that.
So 24 hours.
A little bit.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he had Pete Zeno. Yes.
Okay. I don't remember that one, but since you said it, I don't remember that.
Anyone else have a statement? Okay, that's what we calling the road. We don't have a resolution or ordinance. So what are we calling it for?
They want to vote, they have a motion. They have a motion.
So you guys need a resolution or ordinance or what else?
They can vote on the motion as it's presented.
So you can, she stated that you can vote on the motion as it's presented. So can you, you would like to make a motion, Trustee Belcher? And I'm glad it came to you in a joke. So keep smiling. Go ahead.
Yes, I would love to make a motion.
Okay.
For the police directive.
All right. Is there a second?
A second.
All right. There's a motion and a second. Can you please call the roll, Clerk Key?
Just for clarity, is this a motion to move forward or?
Go ahead, clear it up, Trustee Belcher.
Well, actually, per the village administrator, when via email, she wanted to discuss it in executive session because of the fact of we wanted to know how long it was going to be and some other things when we still were going to vote on it. So at this point, if it's just to move on, whatever the case may be, we're voting to stop the 24-hour direct police directive or detail, or however you want to say it. We could have took it into executive session because I don't think anybody wanted not to let you have it. It was the matter of how much it's costing, and you have one police officer sitting on your house. So while you were, saying everything you had to say, if it went into the executive session, we could have got all the votes of what we were actually trying to do. But you do whatever you want, as you always do, Mayor.
And I will. So, I'm going to protect myself and my child. So whatever you decide to do here, go right ahead. And as it relates to 24 protection, I do not have 24 protection. That's for the record. So stop putting that out there because I don't. But see how you just said I got one person on my house. This, you just tell information to people. So whatever people trying to do. That was discussed in the last meeting. Please go back and look at it. Okay, exactly. And you put it out there then. So that's my point to you. So since then, what you think happened, Trustee Belcher? Another threat.
I really don't care.
I know you don't care. And that's the problem. You're a woman. That's sad that you don't care what happens to other women. And you sound about it. That's a joke. You shouldn't be like that, because I wouldn't treat any of you like that. If anybody was ever threatened as it relates to my board, I would still protect you regardless of my dislike or discord with any of you. I never treated you like that. When you was in that car accident, Trustee Belcher, I called you. I made sure you was okay. When Brittany got COVID, I called her, make sure she was okay, offered you all food and anything else that you needed from me as mayor. Because guess what? I am a woman. I am a mother first before any of this political garbage. So stop with the politics. Don't play politics with my family or my life. So I mean that to all of you. So now y'all make y'all vote, because I'm going to do what I need to do as a parent first. Call the roll, Clerk Key.
I got a question real quick. I thought we was going to executive session. I know that's what the administrator said.
No, the administrator, number one, let me clear that up. The administrator did not say that. Trustee Belcher stated she wanted to go to closed session. So then she called back.
As said, Administrator Cook.
Let me finish, please. So then she stated she wanted to go to closed session. She then called back, or however their conversation went, and she said she wanted it on the agenda for a vote. Again, I asked the attorney about it. Y'all had no directives as it relates to a resolution or ordinance. It was just a motion to do what? So normally when you make a resolution or ordinance, you tell us what you want to do. All you did was write a paragraph. Not in high school. You got to put resolution and ordinance on it so we know what we're doing. This is a government. So if you guys want to take the detail or the security from me, like I said, go ahead. Like, let's move forward so we can stop putting my personal business out there as relates to my faith. Call the roll, Clerk Key. Let's go.
Okay, Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Trustee Holmes, unmute yourself. Okay,
While he's unmuting, Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
And Trustee Holmes again. I see he's here, but he's on mute.
Yeah. Okay. So there we have it. Y'all get ready to wave at the officers as y'all see them, because they'll still be around me. So.